Hey, starting today, Tuesday, June 4th, we're going to use the TuesTips hashtag and a new location to find the video tips on aka.ms/TuesdayTips. Here's our first tip for today, Tuesday, June 4th. This comes from Ephraim Magruder, who mentioned he likes taking 4 windows within his surface and just dragging those 4 windows to the corners. Notice that I'm not releasing until I get to the corner and I get this little preview that it's going to take my outlook here and it's going to actually make it a 4th of the window in the bottom corner. And I can do this with each of these 4 windows by pulling them to the actual corners. And once I get to the 4th corner, I get a preview of the other choices. In this case, I can put a new browser window there. You can also do this with the windows and the arrow keys. So I can take a window and hit the arrows up and down to put it on half the screen or the other half of the screen. And then when I have it on the half that I want, if I hit the up arrow, I go to the upper quadrant, the down arrow, the down left-hand side, and to the right. So thanks, Ephraim, for that Windows tip or trick. Our next tip today comes from Heather Ackman, and Heather showed this tip on her YouTube channel about using a transition called morph and using off-slide content, in this case the new Pride flags in the Windows logo that were released as a theme for Windows 10. If I wanted those to build on a slide or subsequent slides as animations, all I have to do is take them from one location, move them to another location on a slide or around, and then these actually transition as I move from slide to slide. You can see their location moving throughout. Here's what that transition looks like when you're in slideshow mode. The first graphic flies in from the right to the left, then resizes, flying in with the second. The third flies in from its location off screen, and the fourth finally flies in. So that animation choice or look, if you will, has been accomplished with the morph transition and multiple slides with various graphics in different locations, in this case all off the screen flying onto the screen. And I learned that use from Heather. In our final tip today, Heather Ackman mentioned to me that there's a new feature in PowerPoint that cleans up unused slide masters. However, she had not seen the dialog because she doesn't have a lot of unused slide masters. In my experience with Microsoft and different people combining different decks, I've seen a lot of PowerPoint slide decks that have just sometimes hundreds of slide masters from other presentations being copied and pasted and maybe not using the most appropriate way to do that, or older versions of the product. So what I found was a PowerPoint deck that actually asks about cleaning up the large number of unused slide masters. We can see here, if we go to the View tab and ribbon under PowerPoint Slide Master, just how many are in the original. There's over 28 sections of slide masters, many of which are obviously unused because it's asking me if I would like to clean them up. The original file size is 19.4 meg. Just by cleaning up the unused duplicates, in this example, I save 1 megabyte of space, same presentation, same slides, and the cleaned up slide masters as opposed to over 24 unique slide masters. If I go to the ribbon view, slide master, it's cleaned it up to about 10. Thanks to both Ephraim and Heather for joining me today and coming up with some great tips. Ephraim's was about using the four corners and a Windows feature called Snap Assist to move 4 windows on his Surface to the 4 corners of the screen. You can do that from either the keyboard shortcut or from using your mouse and just dragging the titles of the windows to the corners. Then Heather gave us a couple different tips, one being the morph transition, not animation. This was done without any animation, moving from off the screen and around on the screen, or from off the screen to on the screen. We'll be back Thursday, and I plan to add a Thursday tips shortcut and hashtag for the posts on Thursdays. Thanks again.